So to start in the shell, I'll obviously open it up here, and then in there, import from book_outlet.models the country model which we added and the book model. These are the two models which are now involved in this new relation. And of course, we already have a couple of books. But if we use those books, if I, for example, query for Harry Potter here quick and dirty by using the index, then there, if we access published countries, you see we get access to that relation. But if I get all related countries, we have an empty query set, because this hasn't been mapped to any published countries yet. Of course, that's something we can change. I'll create a new country, let's say Germany, by instantiating country, and then again passing the expected field values as keyword arguments. So the name is Germany, and for the code, it's DE, for example. Now I got Germany as a country. Now I want to get access to one of the books. So again, I'll quickly get access to all books. And I'm interested in my stories. So in the second book here, so that can be accessed quick and dirty with book objects all index 1. And there I now want to set up a connection to Germany. And you don't do this by setting published countries to Germany. This wouldn't make sense because you must not forget that it's a many-to-many relation. Hence, it's not just one country which is related to this book. So setting this equal would be wrong. The published countries is not Germany. It's a list of countries. And therefore, instead what we do is on published countries, there is an add method. Now, this add method only exists when you're dealing with many-to-many relations. Then, on the field which is used for the many-to-many relation, in this case, published countries, or on the inverse field on the related model, which will be created automatically, more on that in a second, there you have add methods which you can access. And it's this add method to which I now pass Germany. Now, I'm getting an error here though. And that error is related to something I mentioned in one of the last lectures. You can only start setting up relations once the data to which you want to set up a relation was saved to the database. And in case of Germany, I didn't do that. I created this object, but I never called save. So Germany is not part of the database yet, hence this relation can't be set up. So what we need to do is call save first to make sure that Germany is saved to the database. And then thereafter, I can retry adding Germany. And now this works. And now, of course, we can query that just as we could before. We can access published countries and get all published countries, or call filter there and filter for published countries where the code is equal to DE, which of course is Germany. If I would search for UK instead, we would get an empty query set because there is no published country connected to this book with a code of UK. And therefore this querying part again works as you learned it. The only relevant and different thing is related to how you set up the connection. You do this with add instead of an equal sign because it's many-to-many. Now, of course, you can also query the inverse, the opposite. If I use country objects all, we see that there's one country in there, which of course is Germany. And therefore, if I get access to that again with country objects all first and only entry, then here we also have an inverse field. So a field which was added by Django automatically to access this relation from the other model, from the other side, so to say. Now, what's the name of the relation from the other side? Well, from the country perspective, it's again book set. So what we had before for one-to-many. It's not books, but book set. So if I tried that on books, it would fail because that's an unknown property. If you would want to change that, you again, of course, could go to your model where you set up the relation here and add this related name keyword argument to set this to books, for example, to be able to use .books here. It's up to you what you want to use here. I'll not change it here. We could do it though, but that is how you then access this relation from the related model. Now that again was the shell. Now let's dive into the admin panel and let's manage it from there.